Fans of Hank Williams Jr. got their wish in 2020 when he was announced as a Country Music Hall of Fame inductee. In 2021, Judds fans' prayers were answered. The legendary duo will enter the Hall 20 years after retiring, and Winona had this to say about it. Better late than never, right? I'm Billy Dukes for Taste of Country, and it's been never for artists like Jerry Lee Lewis, John Denver, Crystal Gayle, Keith Whitley, and Toby Keith. Who do you think is long overdue for a Country Music Hall of Fame induction? Is Tanya Tucker ahead of all of them? Let us know in the comments section below and hit subscribe to make sure you're first to know all country music news. A quick word on the process. Skip ahead about 30 seconds if you don't need this. Every year, the Country Music Hall of Fame announces an inductee from the modern era, the veterans era, and a rotating group of musicians, songwriters, and other industry personnel. We're focused on modern era and veterans era today. These are artists eligible 20 years and 45 years after they achieved national prominence, respectively. In 2020, Hank was a veteran, while Marty Stuart was the modern era artist. In 2021, it was Ray Charles and the Judds, plus 2 musicians. So what's up with these snubs? Let's start with John Denver and Mac Davis, 2 artists with similar resumes. Both are among the few overlooked Entertainer of the Year winners not in the Hall of Fame. Both also have very thin song resumes. Denver was a folk artist with some crossover success and some country success, albeit great success. These country roads take me home. Davis is the same, although he was a CMA host a few times as well, but he was also a really big national celebrity who only dabbled in country music. He had no number 1 country hits and just 6 top 10s. Sorry for saying it, but these 2 probably won't get in anytime soon. I'm not the be-all end-all of these things though. Let me know why I'm wrong in the comment section and let's talk about it, like adults. Contrast their resumes with Tanya Tucker. Your heart is in them flowers. Bring 'em home. And Crystal Gayle, who have 10 and 18 number 1 hits respectively. Both are Female Vocalist of the Year winners, and both are enjoying a late career resurgence. Crystal with a recent Opry membership and Tanya with some rock and new music, plus a couple of Grammys. It's hard to say that either one is snubbed, because to say that is to say they're more deserving than an artist like Hank or Ray Charles. Their time will come, likely within 5 years for Crystal, and 10 for Tanya, who at age 62 is a lot younger than you think she is. Fans of contemporary artists like Toby Keith, Tim McGraw, and Kenny Chesney should hold on a second, because I think I can convince you that they don't want to be inducted anytime soon. But now let's talk about the 2 most controversial artists not to be in, Jerry Lee Lewis and Keith Whitley. Their cases and reasons for not being in are wildly unique and different. On paper, Lewis is a tremendously influential artist with number 1 hits across many decades. Like Charles, he was part of the inaugural class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but unlike Charles, he was fully embraced by the country establishment afterward. He's kind of a shoo-in, but stories about his personal life are going to be problematic for the Country Music Hall of Fame if they induct him while he's still alive. For one, he married his 13-year-old cousin, and that got him more or less banished for several years. And there was a lot of drinking, fighting, gun waving, some pills. This frankly was part of the reason why it took so long to get Hank in, and if you've noticed, they've done that in the most low-key way imaginable. He hasn't even been given a microphone to speak into yet. So all of this no big deal, except here are some of the headlines people bring back when Jerry Lee Lewis is mentioned. To be fair, he was cleared of any and all charges, so should this matter? Who knows? I don't vote. Will it matter with people who vote for the Hall? Well, you guess. Keith Whitley's life ended in an unceremonious way when he died from alcohol poisoning in 1989, and people will say that his sheer talent should be enough to make him a Hall of Famer. Garth Brooks is one of those people, saying in 2019 that he won't rest until that happens. The problem is he died so soon after reaching national prominence. For real, his first radio hit, Miami, Miami, dropped as 1986 began, and he died 3.5 years later, enjoying just 3 number 1 and 3 top 10 hits while he was alive, then another 2 number 1 songs, and 2 top 5s afterward. That's like 10 hits. If I'm being honest, I'll say that in the end, he will end up in the Hall of Fame because I think his voice is Hall of Fame worthy. Plus, fans of his then have kids that grew up on his music that are bringing his music back to life today. 2 examples of this are Dylan Carmichael and Dylan Scott. There's a pretty big movement to get Keith in posthumously, but it's not a sure thing. there's a lot of talent on the horizon. Okay, I'm gonna glump a bunch of artists into one group here, but bear with me. Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, Toby Keith, Martina McBride, Rascal Flatts, all are Hall of Famers who will get in, but if you're Kenny, do you want that right now? Think about it. The Hall of Fame kinda means your career is wrapping up, or you're getting a little bit older, and it's pretty clear that Chesney and McGraw in particular both have a lot of tread left on those tires. I'm not sure the time is right for them right now. One artist I didn't mention is Shania Twain, who I do think has reached a point where it's acceptable. Expect her to be inducted in the next 5 years. Perhaps it'll be a 60th birthday gift for herself. I'm Billy Dukes for Taste of Country. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.